Welcome back, Dungeoneers. It's Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to play Dungeons & Dragons.
Wow.
You're watching Dice and Dungeons, and I'm here at the table with...
I'm David Wong. I play over 9,000 bards, all of them incredibly relevant and timely.
Wow. I'm Nicole Bates, and I play Sorian Sul, the Changeling Druid, who wants you to remind you to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/DiceandDungeons.
Wow, you just jumped right into it.
It's the best way to support the show, and you get behind-the-scene content, like the improv sessions that we do before this show. Mm-hmm. This one was pretty weird, so check it out at patreon.com/DiceandDungeons.
And I'm Greg. I play Ulset Ralph, a Furbog fighter. And I'm Artemore. And I am incredibly adorable.
We're becoming a prop comedy show.
I've been a prop comedy show.
For everyone who has no idea what is going on right now...
Because you're ear watching.
Because you're either ear watching or you're seeing this for the first time, his character, Ulsath Ralph, has an awakened sea otter companion. And if you're ear watching...
There's a puppet.
There's a puppet.
And who are you?
I'm Alexis Bates, your trusty dungeon mistress.
Who do you play?
Everything that isn't the three of you and now
Four.
Artemore.
So if we awaken everyone else in the world, we'll have to play as them too.
I mean, if you want to play that way, where you three are the DMs and I'm the only player, we can explore doing that sometime.
And if you like to play, you should check out Geekified. Take it away.
Oh no, that was the top. That was an S tier transition.
If
please.
you like to play, check out Geekified at geekifiedoiowa.com. And you always do the ad read, so I'm looking to you for
Your
confidence.
tabletop gaming store in Vinton, Iowa.
Tabletop gaming store out of Vinton, Iowa. If you're in the area, check them out. They have everything for your tabletop gaming needs.
Mm-hmm. Cards,
TTRPGs, Pokemon game, like Pokemon card game stuff, MTG, anything you want.
And if you're not in Vinton, you can go online and visit their store that way, and they'll send stuff to you.
And that was at geekifiediowa.com.
Wow, what a site.
Our sponsor, thank you, Geekified.
Thank you,
You trade
Geekified.
your money's
The
worth out of
transition
this
was
one.
S tier. The read was like B- tier.
That's
Well,
like averages out to an A.
You're new, so like that averages out to like an A.
C minus.
It's like an A.
A-ish.
It was an
But the transition, that was good. Thank you, Geekified, for your ongoing support and patience. And a reminder to everyone, even if you don't want to support Geekified directly, which we think you should, at least support your local gaming store because they're the backbone of a lot of things that we use in this hobby, and they keep this kind of stuff alive. So, support your local gaming store. I think with that, Dungeoneers, let's roll. Last week on Dice and Dungeons. Midnight Brunch, excuse me.
What were you going to say?
I kind of swallowed funny there.
We're the Midnight Bunch.
The Midnight Brunch began tracking down clues to a mystery that they felt compelled to investigate. The disappearances of citizens all around the city of Drogmara. After meeting with the butler, for one of the city's many
did it.
aristocratic families. They made their way back down the mountain to meet with a woman they heard was doggedly pursuing her missing friend. This woman was Fodari Pilm, and we rejoined the group as they now meet Fodari in the bar that she works at. The bar, as a reminder to everyone, is the Crass Carp, and Fodari is standing on a stool, reaching over the counter, shaking your hands. So,
I shake hands after I eat those fries that I got last time. Just
oh, yeah.
get nice and greasy.
She's used to that.
I figured. I know the name of the bar, so.
Well, y'all seem like all right folks, so, what can I do you for?
Well, we are very much interested in solving the mystery of the disappearances. And we heard that you have been also looking into it, and we wish to compare notes. We don't have very much.
Full disclosure.
That
Nothing even exchange!
But you'd really be doing us a solid.
I would really appreciate it.
Yes, we are here to help.
that might very well be the absolute best I have ever heard something pitched. We wish to compare notes. Pause. We don't have very much. Okay. As a character,
That's why my charisma is -1.
We're the person in the group project who's like not really shown up to class.
yeah. By comparison, so y'all don't have very. What do you mean you don't have very much?
Well, we just got here a few days ago, and we mostly just spent it eating.
So if you just got here a couple of days ago, why do you care about all this?
Well,
That's a great question.
yes, Zoya, why is it we care so much about this?
You're the one who latched onto it the most.
Oh. Well,
I thought that was part of your character development.
Isn't your code kind of like really focused on things like this specific thing? Do you remember your code?
Yeah, my code doesn't say anything specifically about disappearances.
Oh, okay.
But it gets around to it. But
So it does mention it.
you wanted us to do this? Okay. So, you who are Fodari,
Yeah.
we very much like to do good things. We are good
money.
people.
We're
Yeah.
mercenaries.
We are
It's our
mercenaries.
job.
Thank you for interfering in my conversation.
It's our conversation.
Oh,
We
you
share
can-
everything.
This is true. But when people disappear, it is usually not a good thing. And so, because we do not want bad things to happen, we are attempting to find out what the disappearances are all about. Also, in order to continue this monologue, because everybody else is just falling around laughing,
Oh, please continue. Don't stop now.
we are concerned that perhaps this is a re-emergence of what we believe might have been a murder cult. That would be
Great pitch. We don't know what's going on. We haven't got much information, but we're pretty sure it's a murder cult.
no. We suspect it's a murder cult.
Boy, you guys are giving off podcaster vibes right now.
We think it'll be a good story, right?
Owen? Owen's just like not there. Okay.
Anyway, your ale is very good.
What's very good? Did you say?
The ale.
The ale. Okay.
The fries are so-so. Wait.
The Sevens likes the jalapeno poppers.
It's a bar. They've got jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
How are the fries? I saw that you rolled.
3.
Oh,
There's
okay.
only 3 left.
Yeah. No, like half are salted and half are unsalted. I really don't get it. Like I started eating off of Olsef's fries and they taste completely different.
Well, variety is the spice of life.
Salt is the spice of life.
Plus, when you call variety the spice of life, it saves you a whole lot on spices.
We should just sell variety then. That seems to be the one spice everyone wants.
Are you responding to the omnipresent DM?
I'm just in my own little world right now.
Just a fry world.
So, you who are Fodari Pilm.
Do you want me to take over, or are you?
Zoria,
No.
Zoria, who is...
This is Olsef's.
It's also
I find that I am not very good at conversation and explaining things. I do not know why the party keeps making me do this.
because it's fun.
Explain that you grew up in the
Zoria,
swamp.
you who are Zoria, could you pick up and please explain to Fodari Pilm why are we so interested in finding out what is going on with the disappearances?
Sure. Hi.
Hello, I have returned.
Can we start this dialogue tree over? Fresh start.
Where
We are right
Go
now.
back to the safe
Where-
point.
where
Just keep
yeah.
pressing. Just start the whole chain over again. It's like the conversation never happened.
Frantically Alt-Z.
Quick load.
So, Fodari.
Yeah. You were explaining why you're interested in these disappearances?
Yes. Well, we have experience with some similar-ish events occurring up in Nordfeld.
What do you mean similar-ish?
We uncovered a underground murder cult that was maybe kidnapping people.
They were definitely
A
murdering
murder
them.
cult?
I mean, we didn't have a good name for it, but it was really spooky.
Wait, were we supposed to come up with a name for them?
What do you mean a murder cult? Like, they just murder people for their, like, culty stuff,
There was
whatever it is?
there was some sort of in the sewers ritual going on, tearing dimensions open through ritual sacrifice, that sort of business. We worked with the arcane masters on it. We can't say for
We
sure.
did all the
that's
heavy
what-
lifting too.
We can't say for sure what's happening here, but
So why do you think it's a murder cult?
well, we're just concerned that after what happened in Nordfeld only a few months ago, it maybe is also occurring here.
Look, we're just asking questions.
I don't... okay, sure. So, did you guys just come all this way to investigate a murder cult?
No, we were here on company business. We're with the Company of Blades.
We show our badges.
And that's when we heard about these events during a mission.
Okay. So... why do y'all feel compelled to look into this? I mean, look, I'm usually not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, but
Like what, Jim?
3... yeah,
4.
well, I thought there was 4, but...
Dylan, where'd you go?
Or
5.
and you have an otter.
Hello.
All right.
Do we put
That's
you into
new
combat?
it's armor.
So, look, y'all come in here and you seem to be, you know, fairly well-seasoned adventurers. I mean,
Yes, we're seasoned with variety.
you're
The
wearing
spice of life.
you're wearing fancy clothes. You clearly have magical weapons. So why are you wasting your time on this?
Why do you think it is a waste of time?
Well, if the town guards aren't investigating, and they haven't hired anybody, why are you doing anything? Why are you sticking your nose in here? The only people I've seen sticking their nose out are people looking to write salacious news stories about it.
Hohen would not do that.
Not salacious.
I do
Well,
not think they are salacious.
have any of us read their writing?
No.
Well, other than Hohen, most of us are not real good writers. So you do not need
Hey.
to worry about that.
Singer-songwriter, but
Well, not singer.
Forgive me for being so suspicious, but people have been coming around and trying to intimidate me.
What kind of people?
Yeah,
what did they look like?
What do they smell like?
I mean, it's not a mystery. town guards and other, wealthy bodyguards, they come down here try to get me to stop doing what I'm doing.
Why would wealthy bodyguards care what you're doing?
They're bodyguards for the wealthy. Yet, they all just want me to stop interfering. They say that I'm getting in the way of real police work.
Are you?
Look, I can understand why some people wouldn't want to get involved in this and why they think I'm interfering in police work, but when you think that the police are doing a crappy job, you try to go out there and do the right thing. I don't think they're doing the best. Don't get me wrong, they are looking into it. I just don't think that they know a door handle from a nail.
You used to be that way, but now you have learned much.
Yeah.
So I will ask you two things. One, why do you think that they are doing a bad job? And two, what is it that you are doing? And
You only can ask 2 questions.
and I know I had to stop then because that was two. I can count that way.
Do you want to do another question?
You can keep asking questions if you want.
He doesn't want to be a liar.
But those are the 2 questions I would want to know. Why do you think that they are not doing a very good job? And what have you learned?
I don't think they're doing a very good job because this has been going on for a few months now, and they haven't found anything. I mean, how can you not find anything? Your whole job is, to detect things. You're a detective. You're supposed to be looking for stuff. And what have they found?
What have they found?
Not much anything, as far as I can tell. So,
That is what they told us too. Nothing.
I mean, I get it. They don't want to let loose what secrets they found. I want to tip their hand if they're getting close to something. I understand that. But can't you give us, any glimmer of hope? And I don't know if they've found these things, but, I've been going around trying to keep my eye on stuff. I've seen some things. I didn't hear them talking about them.
What have you seen?
People think I'm crazy, all right? Most people, they don't think I'm all right in the head. They think I'm making this stuff up. But I know what I've seen. There's people, shadowy looking folks, moving in and out of the sewers. I don't mean they're lifting up the drain grates or anything, but access doors. We've got utility doors and stuff around the city, workers to go down and clean up anything, fix anything, check on things. Now we're a pretty simple bar here. We get a lot of working folk, including the utility kind of people. They come in and buy a few rounds, eat some fries at the end of their shift. And the folks I've seen, they don't look like normal utility folk, and I've certainly never seen them come in the bar. It's not like every utility worker in the whole city comes in here. No, far from it.
Where do they go?
I mean, wherever bar they like.
Is there a utility worker bar hangout?
Not that I know of.
We should
So-
find that out.
What is it that makes these people look different from the other utilities workers?
People who are supposed to be where they are, they don't look behind their shoulders. They don't check their surroundings. They know they're supposed to be there, so they don't have a care in the world. People that aren't supposed to be somewhere, they're always looking around trying to see if anyone's spotted them. They're nervous. We get a fair number of, let's just say, ne'er-do-wells here in this bar. I know what nervousness looks like. I know what it looks like when someone's on the run from something or trying to hide from somebody else.
Oh, in that regard, do you have a thieves guild here in town?
If we do, I don't know about it.
Because they might have more information too.
I'm no fan of, cutthroats and backstabbers. But I sure as hell know what they look like. I see them coming out of these doors and they don't look like they're supposed to be there. They look kind of nervous and look dangerous. Like they're ready to cut anybody down that questions them. I don't like it.
Do you think anyone has ever tried to question them?
Yeah, probably.
If it's not too difficult for you, could you tell us about your friend Tamoy?
Sure, what do you want to know?
Do you what did they do for what were they doing? Were they last seen?
Tamoy, he was an engineer. Fixed stuff, designed things, built them. Mostly, I knew him because he got hired to work around here quite a bit. We got a small fervent generator down in the basement. It's just a little, refrigeration thing. It's, one of the previous owners bought it about 50, 60 years ago. It's been chugging away, keeping, our basement nice and chilly so we can keep the ingredients fresh. But it gets its quirks. So, we hired Tamoy. He used to come here just as a customer. He'd get done with work and got to know him a little bit. He said he'd take a look. Gave him some money and he'd come around and fix things up from time to time. He worked for, one of the civil firms here in town, designing buildings and making sure that their plumbing's all correct, stuff like that. He would come in here sometimes and play guitar too. He always liked to just kind of fiddle around with it.
Well, the fiddle's a completely different instrument compared to a guitar. I know I used to be in a music store.
Did you say you used to be in a music store?
Yeah, that happened earlier today. Yesterday.
Do you feel that Tamoy was targeted or randomly taken? Or disappeared? Otherwise disappeared?
I don't know. I mean, my instinct tells me that he just got unlucky.
Do you know where he was approximately when he disappeared?
No idea. Last time we saw him alive was he was leaving this place. He usually left here around, 8 o'clock. And, I work the night shift. I close up here. I often be here until about 10:30, 11, depending on who's in that night. When I close up, sometime I'd go and spend a few hours over at Tamoy's place. He and I like to just sit back, enjoy some pipe smoke. Nothing too much.
May I ask, do you have any pictures of Tamoy? Or would he have any at his home?
I never saw him have any sort of photograph or something taken of him. No. It's not really the kind of person he is. But I can give you an alright description.
Sure. I have a thought process. If there's these sketchy people are doing abductions of some sort, I could become... I'm a changeling, by the way.
Do you look like...
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I can turn into, the likeness of Tamoy, and they might be like, I thought we captured that guy.
That is a good thought.
hang out in the area where he disappeared around the same time. And maybe we can catch whoever's doing this in the act.
Ooh. So I just wanted to talk about some ideas.
Yeah.
Is setting up bait could be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a fervent engineer, so there might be some interest in fervent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing I could do too is to have Fodari kind of let it be known that there is a fervent, somebody proficient in fervent tech wandering about who also happens to be carrying a fervent crystal. 2, actually.
Yeah.
One very dangerous one.
The daughter that disappeared wasn't doing fervent stuff, though, right? They just
No.
they were interested in Drogmar history.
But we don't know. So we could set all sorts of bait.
Yeah.
Maybe they need a musician in there to entertain them for whatever they're doing.
They might.
Or
Okay,
it was
so-
random.
Well, let's go back.
Well, then we
Alright.
can just walk around at night until one of us gets kidnapped.
So, as you give me your description, I'm going to attempt to replicate it. Tell me when I get close. Okay?
Sure.
All right.
What if you get it in one? That'd be very creepy. Just instantly, whoop.
Well, Tomoy was he was an orc. That's it.
Whoa. Tomoy looks like Tristan.
He was well, little on the short side for an orc. He was only 6'10".
How fast? Yeah, how fast does a changeling change?
6 seconds.
So
Standard action.
Yeah, how high can you get when you transform?
Height-wise?
Yeah.
Well, I can replicate any medium creature, but furbolgs count as medium creatures, and they can get up to like 7-8 feet tall.
yeah, the rules are kind of
Loosey-goosey.
loosey-goosey here.
Yeah, and you can't turn into a goose yet.
I can't turn into a large-sized creature like an ogre, but I can turn into a large, medium-sized creature like a furbolg.
Like a small ogre.
Like a small ogre, an orc. So,
Well, he was balding. A little more hair than that. That's closer. He liked to keep his hair, mostly shaved. He did the shaved head because he was a little embarrassed about the balding.
Now, is that it's just as you role playing, or can you change? Can changelings pick the sound that comes out when they change?
I'm making that noise with my mouth.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
In game.
I'd be like, bee whoop, whoop, just nothing but slide whistles. You want me to add sound effects for you?
Every time there's a change, we could do a
just
side whistle.
Whoop. I don't know why I made up a noise when I have one. Right
You have an
Yeah.
action. All right.
All right.
Now we're ready.
Good. He had, he kept his facial hair kind of scruffy. It's a little patchy. I can't believe we're doing this. So, let's see.
It works for the
His
podcast.
hair's grayer than that.
Is that
Hey,
going
you
gray?
wanted to do
That's
this.
the going gray sound?
Yeah, that's a going gray sound.
Okay.
Little grayer.
Like this.
Oh, that's too gray.
Oh.
And he liked to lift weights. He was pretty bulky. And, had a little bit more belly than that. His feet were size like 17 or something like that. They're pretty big shoes. What was that?
That was
You know,
the feet
7
hitting
times
the
size
ground.
feet.
All right.
It's a little bit smaller than mine.
And his eyes were this really pretty, like yellow, amber, kind of green.
I imagine they both like they changed independently. So
That's pretty close. I mean, it's not exact, but that's the best description I can give you.
What kind of clothes did he typically wear as an engineer?
Mostly cargo shorts.
lots of pockets.
Yeah, a lot of pockets. He always went on about the pockets.
Not like coveralls, okay.
No.
Sure.
Cargo shorts with little.
If you are an engineer and you happen to watch this show, I hope you enjoyed that bit of humor just for you.
They all just looked in a mirror and they're like, "God damn it!
Yeah,
Let me
pretty
go
much.
fix something."
Yeah. So that's pretty close.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll stop looking like him for now. Now that I've got it locked
Like all
in.
of him, or just like. Or
So
you
why
can
did you guys
remove
want to
certain
find me
parts.
so much?
Hmm?
Why'd you want to find me so much?
Well, we tried speaking with some of the nobles, but they're a little nobly.
What do you mean, little nobly?
They are
They-
like jerks.
They have
Dicks.
reputations to protect.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they are kind of that way, but why wouldn't they talk to you all?
I do not know. We seem to be very trustworthy and sincerely interested in solving the mystery.
Also, the common folk have been targeted much longer, it seems, than the nobility.
Well, that's the thing. Is anyone being targeted? Can't say. I try to take it seriously. Try to set aside what I think might be happening, from just a gut reaction and think about it from a more critical perspective. I don't know if anyone's been targeted.
So
You know,
have
there's rumors that someone in the palace, someone real high up got hit. Early on, too.
Is that why they're locked down?
That's what the rumors are. But, rumors.
well, if you have been
Great album.
yes, if you have been studying this for some time, have you picked up any hint of a pattern, either in terms of the type of people who have been targeted, or when they have been targeted, or where they might have disappeared? Anything at all?
It's all over the city. It seems totally random to me. And maybe it is.
Is it all at night?
So far, maybe. People disappear. And no one's quite sure when it happens. No one sees it. Like I said, my only clue is these weird folks.
Has it ever happened that you say that no one has ever seen it? So has it always been that just one person has disappeared, or is it sometimes groups of people?
Well, we think it's only one at a time.
Have you?
But who knows how long it's been going on? Maybe there have been groups. It's hard to tell. I mean, this world is full of adventurers or wannabe adventurers, people like you. Let's say something happened to all of you while you go on an adventure. Who's to say what happened? If you get hired to do a job and you don't come back, who determines how you died?
Now, have you spoken with the guards?
Yeah, I have.
Have you told them about these suspicious figures going in and out of the sewers?
Yeah, of course I have.
Because when we spoke to the guards, they made a specific point of saying they haven't searched the sewers and that there's no reason to.
Well, I'm sure they believe that.
You'd think, though, when they have no leads, they would at least designate someone to check it out.
Yeah, that being the only lead they might have.
Or they're trying to keep people like us out of there. Who knows? I try not to get conspiratorial.
But
I
if-
try not to think that there's some big thing going on.
But if they were trying to keep us out, wouldn't they have just said, yes, we checked it out already and there's nothing there, rather than we haven't bothered?
Maybe they don't want to lie.
Well,
But it's so much fun.
You know, there are nobles who are supposed to be keeping the city running and prosperous. They manage all the services and everything. If something was going on down there, that might be quite an embarrassment to them. So maybe they won't let the guards go looking. Who
so
knows?
I will ask this. You say that there are maintenance people who go in and out of the sewers through the doors. You know them because these other folks do not look like them. Are there any of these maintenance people about who have been in and out of the sewers? And if they have talked with you, have they noticed anything strange?
Maybe a guy in the bar right now?
It's the middle of the day, you know.
Could be a weekend.
It's not a weekend.
Oh. They could have a 4-day work week.
Do you know anyone we might be able to talk to who has experience in the sewers?
I mean, you're welcome to stick around here for a while and see if one of them comes in today. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance. I'd say about 2 times, sometimes 3 times a week they'll come in here. I haven't felt like asking them.
This is
Don't
not
want
a
to put
bad
them on the
place to
spot.
hang
I
out.
mean, they got a job to protect, and if it gets out they've been blabbing to someone like me, maybe they'll feel safer talking to you. You know, all adventure-y and stuff. Maybe you can convince them that you're doing a job. You got hired or something.
Well, we're trying to get tired, but no one wants to give us
Do
money.
you want to hire us?
Yeah.
I don't have the money to hire
We'll
folks
loan
like
you the money. We'll give you the money.
Yeah,
Why
you
would
can.
you give me the money to hire you?
Well, then we
Yeah,
could be
why would we
honest.
do that?
So that we could be hired for
We
a
could
job.
be hired. We could be asked for by name for
It
a
would
job.
look really good on our CD.
1 copper each.
Well, no, I want money. There has to be someone who will hire us.
Oh, fine.
Well, we are not exclusive. We could be hired by more than one. But if we were to tell people that someone hired us to look into it, we would be telling the truth.
Or we could just lie.
Or we
Like
could
I
be
said,
telling
it's
the
fun.
truth.
Like usual.
Like, I don't have the money to hire you folks.
You know who does?
Well, nobles certainly do. Maybe someone's family.
Is there like some sort of like crowdfunding you can do?
Or skywriting.
Yeah, a skywriting campaign?
Maybe someone would be willing to front the cash if we asked for it publicly. I don't know. I'm not much of a... Well, I'm kind of a proud person. Don't like to beg and ask for money. But, I don't know, a few people think it'll work.
Well, that is
Opposed.
possible.
Take up a collection.
Have you found out anything more other than that there are suspicious people going in and out of the sewer access doors?
Was that just the sewer access doors?
Oh, well, do tell.
I see them going in and out of the, you know, the caves. All sorts of
Caves. Oh,
Yeah, there's all sorts of caves in the city. The whole mountain is hollow. Now there's all types of people go in, help the dragons out with things.
Are they,
Sometimes there's a lively, you know, lava pot going on the inside, and they gotta send some druids or something or other in there to calm it down. Sometimes they need enchantments, and people get in there and they go to the dragon's lairs and do whatever enchantments they're looking for. There's all sorts of folks that go in and out of the cave systems. But, again, I've been noticing a lot of people that just look like they aren't supposed to be there.
Are they wearing anything that looks out of the ordinary? Any symbols, brooches, robes, cloaks, that sort of thing?
Shoes,
No.
hats.
That's kind of the suspicious part, though. They always look exactly like they should. Uniforms are nice and clean, very clear. No ruffling. Look like they're freshly pressed. I don't know what's going on with them. They don't look like they're real workers. It looks too new. You know what I mean? If you really work at something, you got a uniform, that uniform's been worn.
Especially in the sewers.
Exactly. Utility workers, they got stuff and they keep it clean, but it gets used, it gets worn, and you can see it in that clothing. And the stuff that they wear, these folks, doesn't look like that.
Do you think that it's kept magically clean, or that it is just...
I just think it's a really convincing disguise.
Where is one of these access hatches that you've seen them?
All over the city.
Can you point out to one nearby?
Yeah, here, come. She heads to the door and opens it up. She points down to the right. See down there? There's a... this street banks to the right. Ends on these buildings, and you gotta turn. See that door and the bricks? Looks like it might go to a basement of one of those houses, right? That's an access point into the sewers. I've seen people come in and out of there. Most of them, they recognize who they are, look like they're in the right spot, but I've seen some people that just don't. I followed them one time.
You should have led with that.
I just about peed myself to do it. It's terrifying. I followed them for 3 hours. Once they left, they didn't stop anywhere. They didn't go to any business. They didn't dip into any city supply depot. They didn't stop for some food. They were just walking through the city.
For 3 hours?
Meandering all over the place. Turning every which way. I figured they must have known I was there.
How would you feel about hiding in there pointing one out to us from hiding, and we'll try and capture them?
That's a risk. I don't know how I feel about that.
I can magically help hide you.
What do you mean magically hide me?
I can bend shadows about to help you be hidden and muffle
Maybe
sounds.
like those kidnappers are doing.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all want to hide with me, I'll try.
Well, we'll wait here until you close up, see if any... Why don't we just hang out here, see if any of these maintenance workers, regulars, come in. And when you're done with the shop, we can stake out one of these entrances and hide and try and capture one of these suspicious folks.
I think that is a good idea.
Well, I like the sounds of the plan. There's only one small problem. Tonight I gotta go watch my nephew.
Oh.
We'll hire someone to do that.
That's all, I think.
Yeah, well, ask for them by name.
My sister's not gonna appreciate y'all hiring some random person to go over there.
Oh, we know them. They're really nice.
Well, that's fine, but it's not up to me. It's my sister.
Very well.
I gotta watch my nephew tonight. She's gotta go to, some sort of parent conference or something.
So what night might you be free?
Well, tomorrow night's not bad.
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow night.
We can come back again tomorrow night.
And by then you'll have enough money to crowdfund us and hire us to actually investigate it.
I'll ask
Maybe.
around. See if anyone might be willing to pitch in.
Want me to skywrite a note up there?
Don't raise attention to this.
Why
Don't-
not? I want to use my spells.
It's just. I want to use my magic.
Fine. Do you have any cheese?
Yeah?
Can I have some?
What kind?
Whatever.
All right. Here's some well cheese.
Take it from you.
Seven say that.
I need new cheese.
Who's paying for the cheese?
Who win?
Here's some more.
I slapped tens away. No! Ow!
Here you go.
I pocket the cheese.
That's our well cheese.
It is good. You might not have wanted the unwell cheese.
I give her a silver for the cheese.
That is expensive cheese.
Well, that's mighty generous of you.
I don't have any copper.
Just walk around. I was like, I want some candy. All I have is this $100 bill. You want change? And you're already gone.
Do you have any more clams? Or fish?
Fried clams.
Sea urchins?
I've got some clams. It's a little far in for sea urchins.
Okay. I will take some clams.
Here,
I give
Sets
you
down a
one
little-
silver for the clam.
sits down on a little plate with 3 clams on it.
Well, I have some time. You just want to walk over to the access hatch just to take a look at it?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's walk over there.
I'll walk over as Hamley, and you guys stay a little distance away from me, like you're not with me.
Okay.
Isn't it during the day?
Yeah,
But we don't know where the
we follow. I
disappearances are
follow at a
happening.
respectful distance.
Well, actually, how busy is the street, I guess, is a better question.
How busy is the street?
Yeah, where we're going, how busy is it?
I mean, down at the end of the street, it's not all that busy. It clearly turns into like houses and stuff. So there's people, but it's not a busy thoroughfare anymore. Basically, the traffic is slowly petering off the further away from the main drag you get.
No.
Well, I follow at a respectful distance. Plus a little bit more.
I don't know how he walks.
You forgot to ask that question.
So I'm guessing like this.
How does an engineer walk? I assume they like
An engineer.
They loop their
really
thumb-
swing their arms.
Loop their thumbs in their utility belt. And sort of lean back.
They got a carabiner with all the keys on it.
Jingly.
I feel personally attacked right now.
Well,
Better hit the old dusty trail.
Better check out the hatch.
better check out the hatch.
Okay.
As is my job, maybe.
So you start investigating the hatch.
I will look
I mean, it's a
around.
door.
I will
hatch.
look about the door. See if there's anything unusual.
It seems to be a standard sort of reinforced wood door.
Any markings. Like maybe that, you know,
So like
thieves'
a bloody
guilds and
handprint on top of it.
Thieves guilds will sometimes leave little chalk markings and stuff to signify like escape routes or targets, things like that.
Nothing that you see.
I detect magic.
Okay, go ahead.
I detect magic.
It's just an
Is there any
innate
magic?
ability.
I know, but I want him to wave his hand or something.
Oh, okay.
Thought that'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you do?
Have I succeeded in detecting?
And using your
Now you
magic.
have to do it for
Yeah.
a full 6
I'm
seconds.
gonna have to do it.
You go.
I'm just enjoying. I'm just enjoying the prompt. You do actually detect a bit of magic on the door.
Where?
on
The whole door.
The whole door?
What
Yeah.
sort?
What kind of? I can tell what kind of magic it
Yeah,
is.
it's abjuration
Sort of
magic.
protective magic.
Yeah.
Keep the riffraff out.
Well, I knock.
When you knock, it's really muffled. It, like, kind of imagine, if you will, get a wood table, and then there's like 4 thick blankets on it.
So it's not. It's more like. I don't want to knock on our door.
Don't hit your otter.
It's like
Yeah, it's really muffled. The sound The impact, it's absorbed in the door.
I like this knock on wood podcast.
That's kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, it's supposed to be a sewer. It should be echoing.
Well, we use magic on it to make it less loud.
I try and open the door.
It's locked.
I pick the lock.
You do?
I look around.
Yeah, to make sure that you belong there.
Is anyone around other than them?
I mean, there's people around, but they're mostly just minding their own business, going about their day.
You're wearing a maintenance uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I'll pick the lock.
All right. Go ahead and make the check. I wasn't expecting you to try this.
Well, I'm doing really well on it. I feel really good about this roll.
That's a
good.
great roll.
That's 9.
Best number.
As you fiddle around in the lock, you can feel, and this is something that you felt before in other situations in lockpicking. The lock,
A sense of failure.
the lock is fighting you. Like it is actively
Repelling.
countering your maneuvers. So you don't unlock it.
Oh, wait, are we trying to get to the other side?
I mean, with the ideally able to get back.
I teleport to the other side of the door.
Your dimension door.
Why are you giving me that look?
Just gonna close that right now. I'm gonna say this very clearly. Are you sure?
You
Well,
could-
not anymore. If God's gonna tell me, if God's stopping the action, like everyone stops and just like, you want to go down there?
Are you sure?
This is that part in the video game where it says, "Do you want to? Are you sure
you
this is
wanna
the point of no
proceed?"
return?"
Because you can try this, but I want to make sure that you want to, because I know that David Wong, the player,
Definitely.
when embodying nines, can be slightly impetuous.
and you could
So-
use other words.
So I want to be certain that this is the course of action you want to take.
I wave
Well, I
goodbye. to
assume-
them.
Don't look to us.
I don't have a light, so I'm not going in there because I assume it's gonna be dark now.
You have dark vision.
It's in the sewer behind a locked door full of a murder cult, and you don't have any way to get back out.
It could
For
just
24
be.
hours.
You could just have to. Well, if we do it right at dawn.
It's not right at dawn.
Well, if we do it right at dawn, I can teleport. And if something's bad, I can teleport back.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So-
keep that in mind.
So as long as we know exactly when the sun is gonna come up.
It is not right now though.
Nines has a moment of clarity where he doesn't teleport through the door when he knows assumes there's a murder cult underneath his feet.
So Nines is making the assumption there's a murder cult underneath his
We
feet.
keep talking about murder cults.
Maybe don't teleport to the other side of the door. The other side of the door that you don't know what the other side of the door actually looks like.
Yes. I might end up inside the door
You could end up in a wall. You could end up,
in a suit of armor.
You could end up on an all-sacrificial altar.
yeah.
Boy, that would be a character development.
There could be an empty chair next to us next week.
Is there a little?
You'd have to be replaced by an otter.
Is there any sort of like cafe, bar, anything like that that is in visual range of?
The closest is the grass carp.
Okay, and you can't really see the door proper from a table or whatever. So
This is really down in a lot more of the commercial, industrial sort of part of the river. And then it's, backing up into a residential area. So the waterfront has a lot of, light industry unloading. That's what's in the waterfront. Small barges and things like that getting unloaded. Not the big ones. The big ones have their own area. But the smaller ones, this is one of the spots they stop in. Mm-hmm. And then there's residential stuff.
If we look around closely, carefully,
Yep.
are there any places like warehouses or anything that has windows where you could, if you were in them, see the door?
Here's what I'll say. There's buildings around here that have buildings where there's buildings where you could see it, yes. What they are, you don't know. You don't know the town.
Is there like some sort of sewer drain that is adjacent to this area that may coincide with where the door would lead?
There's a lot of like drain grates all over the place. Just like you're in a city, and if you've ever been to a city, you know that there are access points.
Do you want me to try and go in as an animal?
No. I go over to one of the sewer grates
Okay.
and I cast Speak with Animal.
Okay.
Excuse me, is there a rat here? Preferably an observant one.
Why don't you make a persuasion check on that? Because you're in a city, there's definitely rats. But whether they want to interact with you or not,
I'm very
that's the
charming,
question.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You are
a giant cat.
you are also a tabaxi.
Oh, I get an 11. They're not very smart, just saying.
Total 11?
Total 11.
You're not getting any quick takers on this. It's been about 20 seconds that you're just sitting there waiting and nothing responds.
I take out that piece of cheese
Okay.
and I break a piece of it off. I have cheese for anyone who wants to talk with me.
Guidance.
Yeah, make another attempt.
Ow.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Does you have
Good.
cheese?
You have cheese.
That's a lot better. 23.
This time, 3 different rats come up. Hey, you, what's up?
Hey, we're investigating maybe a murder cult?
Oh, murder cult? That sounds great.
What?
Yes.
Why do you think it's great?
Oh, it's lots of fun.
Right. So, have you seen people come through the store?
Maybe.
I drop a piece of cheese down.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people come through here. What do you want?
Yeah, like looking for a guy in like really clean clothes. Like clothes that shouldn't be that clean.
Looking at each other?
Yeah. I drop a
seen
piece
him.
of cheese.
I've seen him. Mm-hmm.
Well, is it pretty common for them to come around here?
Every few weeks.
Has it been a while since they showed up?
Maybe. Feels like it's been a little while ago. We're rats. We're not that, it's like hyper obsessed with time. They are rats. They don't like keep track of time and dates and weeks the same way that we do because it's just not as important to them.
I look down there. Do I see a calendar on the wall? With like
Risa.
Mama Rat's birthday and circled.
No. No.
Good, because that'd be
Rat-
very strange if
Rat
I did.
Independence Day.
I asked Tamway, I'm just hanging out near the entrance while this conversation is, just in case I get kidnapped.
Okay.
Oh, when you do see him, does he usually at night? You ever see him into not night? Like some sort of day?
We know what day and night is.
Yeah, I know I'm being specific.
Well, yeah.
So does he like come during the day?
Sometimes.
Is it more common for him to come at night?
Don't really keep track of how often they come for
You
sure.
just said you know when day and night happens.
Well, yeah, but we don't really, like, observe that closely. Look, we know he comes by because he smells terrible.
What does he smell like? If we had a box of smells right now.
Well, it smells mostly like death, but not like the good kind of death smell, because sometimes that can be nice and aromatic, and you help find it. What? We're rats. What do you want from us?
Information.
We eat dead things, and it smells good.
So it smells like death, but not the good kind of death.
Bad death.
No, like it's been way too long. But like worse than death.
So it smells like death, and it's coming from him, right?
I mean, we think so.
Is there more than one guy that smells like death?
Yeah? There's a few people that all smell like that.
Do they go to the same area? Do you know?
They come by sometimes. Sometimes they're in other parts of the town. You know, we move around.
How much cheese do I have to give you to follow one of them?
We wouldn't do that.
What if I have a lot of cheese?
Wouldn't do that.
What if I gave you a better place to live?
Define better.
Not a sewer.
Sewers are pretty great.
A nicer sewer.
Oh, what's so nice about it?
There's marble.
What's marble?
How do I talk to these rats? They
I'm
know
sitting
nice
over by a door.
I like to imagine as I'm talking to you, I'm just speaking rat still.
Yeah, I'm listening in, and I'm not understanding anything you're saying. So
Actually, you would.
Yeah, no.
no,
They would understand.
they would understand me. I couldn't understand them.
So you won't follow the guy? No matter how much cheese I give you?
It would have to be
I slide 2 gold onto the... I don't do that.
It would have to be so much cheese that we would never need to go hunting again, and we could just eat all the cheese we want and crawl over anything and never worry about being hunted.
So you want some sort of cheese house?
We basically want to live in a fancy rat hotel.
Sorry, where's the nearest rat hotel?
What? I'm over here, and I'm.
Where's the nearest rat hotel? Nice one!
My name is Tamoy. And our house.
It's not the rat hotel.
Okay, it is.
It could be. You have a house?
Yeah, we have a house.
Could be a nice rat hotel. I mean, not really a hotel. We don't want others coming in, checking it out. We just want us and our 200 or 300 brothers and sisters to come hang out and
Seems fine.
live
Can we
there.
set up a place where 200 to 300 rats can just live on our property?
Yeah, that neighbor.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Yeah, you can live on our neighbor's property. We'll figure out. We'll work it out.
Oh, are you super good friends with your neighbor?
Yeah, something like that. Do I have to roll?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You need to roll a deception check with disadvantage because
Rats.
it's not the rats that are giving you the modifier here. It's your own distaste.
That is a 14.
It's nice that you're really good friends with them.
I'm trying so hard not to double down on deception. I slowly nod.
Okay. Well, we'll follow them the next time they come around. But where do we find you?
I don't know. What should we meet? It's here.
Sure. Yeah, meet here. Not inside. They don't like us inside.
You need to leave some sort of mark to let me know that you did your job.
Could pee on the wall.
How about we draw your face?
Wait, how good are you at drawing?
I'm not bad. Found a box of crayons a couple years ago and just been drawing up a storm.
I lower a quill and a piece of paper down there. I dip the quill.
Grabs it with teeth, drags it around in the piece of paper.
Just squiggles.
It is. It's not a very good likeness of you, but you can definitely see that it's like a tabaxi. I'm not used to working with what is this thing?
It's a quill, and I need that back.
Not used
You
to
can
working
keep
with
the
that.
paper.
I'm
Like
used to
this-
working with crayons.
You have crayons.
Yeah, I have a whole box.
Okay, then, what color are you gonna use?
Orange.
That checks out. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this spot. When there's an orange tabaxi, I'll come see you.
Okay.
I give him more cheese.
Cheese.
So does Nines fill us in on what you found out?
No.
Okay.
I tell you exactly what happened.
They smell like death, huh?
Yeah, they smell like death.
But
Like the bad kind.
So, our plan is to rely on rats then?
They're
Well,
pretty nice rats.
the smelling like death's a good clue because I could turn into an animal that has a good scent
sense of smell.
and sniff out people who smell like that. Right?
So, yeah. But I'm wondering that two things. One is, if they smell so bad, why haven't we heard from anybody else who's observed them that they smell bad?
they weren't able to get close.
Including Tamoy.
And rats have extra good smelling.
So,
Plus, they do just kind of disappear, so...
and Fodari followed one for 3 hours and didn't say anything about smelling bad.
Well, if
we don't
you're
know how,
if
yeah,
you're
we don't know how
tailing,
good their sense of smell is, though. We
Well,
don't ask.
and
we'll
if
go
you're-
back and ask Fodari.
if you're tailing someone, you don't sit 2 feet away from them.
The other thing I'm wondering is that the silver people we kept meeting were dead.
That's true.
Whether these people might be like glistening silver liquid.
They might
Cover.
also be animated corpses,
Yeah.
like the silver zombies we've been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point.
What, do you think they could be making the zombies here?
They
and then
might.
attack through the city?
They might be. I wouldn't put it past any of the Ostengrafels.
So if we talk to the rats again, could you ask them if they were like silvery liquid on them, or I mean,
How much time do I have left on my,
A few minutes.
I go over and ask them that.
They're just. There's more of them now.
Eating
Because there's
cheese.
cheese.
Eating. They're all sharing the cheese.
Hey, those guys that smell like death, are they kind of silvery?
No.
I walk.
Ask them if they smell like this. I have that cloth with the silver.
Am I just walking back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I have
Right.
a cloth with a little bit of that silver on it.
I take that. I walk back to the sewer grate. Does it smell kind of like this?
No.
Okay, I walk back. I tell you it doesn't smell like that.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I walk back to the grate.
yeah, you're getting your
Why did I
steps
do
in.
that? I walk back to the group.
Oh, did you ask?
And is there anything else you want to ask the rats?
Also, do you have any questions for the rats?
That was my question
Do
about
they
whether
like
they
me?
might have been.
Walk
Oh yeah,
back.
you work in a sewer.
Did you like my friend over there?
I meant Tamloy.
Seems fine.
Oh, what do you think happened to Fervin?
It was fine.
I expected that one. I walk back and tell you that.
Oh, they didn't know who Fervin
Yeah, they
was?
didn't know who Fervin was.
That's suspicious.
Why would we be suspicious? They're rats.
Is there anything else you want to ask the rats?
No.
I would like to go back to the
I
crass
go back. What's the best place to eat around here? What place has the best garbage?
Really?
If it's good garbage, it might be good food.
Wait, oh, you're asking the rats?
Yeah, I'm asking the rats.
I thought you were going into the bar and asking Fodari.
Also, and I are going back to Fodari. We're
I'm
leaving
asking the
Nines
rats where the
unattended.
best garbage is.
Yeah,
The-
because the best places would be tossing out the best
the
garbage.
the
yeah.
best garbage?
Yeah.
They say that there's a couple of places near the main square of town off of the central road that crosses the river that have a lot of tourists put in a lot of food, throw out a lot of scraps. They like
I asked the one that drew if they can draw the logo of the restaurant as best as they can with crayon.
I don't
Sure,
know
they-
what a logo is.
The picture on the sign.
They tear off a piece of paper from the wall down in their sewer and bring it up to you.
Yeah. They just have the piece of paper. Well, I guess that makes sense. They brought the wrapper with them.
Yeah,
they-
they have nests.
The rat drew, and this is artistic expression. They're sharing it with you.
No, I take it and then I sell it online.
Perfect.
Is it recognizable?
You've seen this place a couple of times. It's a steakhouse. You don't
Yeah,
know.
we can stake out at the steakhouse
Where is the steakhouse?
on the busy side of the road.
Well, we're going to Fodari's.
Fodari Pilm. So you who are Fodari Pilm,
Yeah.
we had interesting conversations via the intermediary of Nines with the Rats.
Oh, that's
And-
good.
And so I have a question. When you did follow this one person who was suspicious for 3 hours, the person was suspicious more than 3 hours, I know, but the amount of time that you followed was 3 hours. Did you notice any unusual smell or odor?
An unusual smell or odor?
Smells like death, but the bad kind.
Well, I don't know. Thinking. Might need a few minutes to think through that. I never really got all that close to him. But, I don't know. I got a couple things to take care of in the back. Do you guys mind waiting for a few minutes?
Maybe, would you like one of us to come with you just to help protect you in case?
I mean, I'm just going to the kitchen to cut up some more potatoes for French fries.
Okay.
Yeah, you need all the help you can get.
If one of you wants to help, it's fine.
I am a cook.
No, sure, you can come back and help. I just need to prepare for the rush. It'll only take us about 15 minutes while you're on this break. See you in a second, guys.
I was sure that was gonna be like
A thing.
I go in back and disappear forever.
No, just going on break.
Okay.
Having a good transition.
See, I was going somewhere
soon.
over that cheese.
Welcome back, everyone. You returned from break, and when we left off, Midnight Brunch was waiting for Fodari to just complete a couple of things in the back of the kitchen, which she has now. She's cut up all of the potatoes for French fries.
Are they fried yet?
Nope. She fries them fresh when they're ordered.
I would like some fries.
Okay. How much?
2 golds worth.
I slide 2 gold across the table.
That's a lot of French fries.
Oh, fine. I pull it back and I take 2 copper and slide it across the table.
Okay, sure. She takes 2 copper, heads to the back and starts some frying. That'll just be a couple minutes.
Have any maintenance people come in?
Yeah, actually.
Oh.
There's a couple of folks who've come in,
Let's
and
eavesdrop on them first.
Fodari points them out.
What do their outfits look like? The maintenance outfits.
They're kind of an orange textile of some sort. It's not a material you're necessarily familiar with. Basically, you haven't seen something that looks like this. It's orange. It's like a full jumpsuit kind of thing. Looks like it even has kind of a hood that can sort of zip shut almost.
Okay.
And they look not like filthy, but definitely used.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do they smell like death? Only worse.
Only
No.
one of them.
No. They don't smell like death, only worse.
Okay.
Well, all right, well, Seth, you're the
Oh no.
You're the face of the
you're the
group.
face of the party.
Hey, you two! We're 3. How many are there again?
Add 2.
You two!
Oh, that's much smoother. I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, those 2! We have some questions for you.
Okay, what's up?
Take it away, Zoria.
So, you to whom we will be addressing
This
questions.
is Soria, apparently.
You to whom we will be addressing questions soon.
My name is Bill, and this is Shanice.
Yes, you are Bill and Shanice.
Nice to meet you, Soria.
Yeah. I am also Ralph. That is Zoria. Zoria will be asking the questions because I am not very good at that. But I have one question for you.
Okay.
Would you like some ale?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I
Who
buy
doesn't
them-
like ale?
3 boots of ale.
Boots?
I don't know. Doesn't ale come in boots in, in Nordfell?
Where did you get that information from?
Fodari brings over a couple of
Boots.
just pints, sets it down in front of Bill and Charisse.
Yeah. How much is that?
3 pints.
8 copper.
Okay. I slide a silver over.
We're
Thank
such
you much.
generous tippers in this world.
So, you two work in the sewers as maintenance workers? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why are the doors muffled?
Oh, keeps the noise down. Sewers are noisy.
How noisy?
Pretty noisy. There's a lot of moving water.
How much of it is the rats?
Not that much noise from the rats.
This is Soria, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, hasn't asked any questions.
But yeah, I mean, we muffle the doors, we muffle all the access covers, keep the noise down. There's a lot of noise that can go on in a sewer, especially during like a rainstorm. You know, moving all that rushing water starts to echo and stuff.
How?
It's courtesy to people.
How do I learn that spell? The muffle spell.
Silence?
Is it just
I mean-
silence?
It's an enchantment. We had a standing contract with, can never remember, is it Tastes Enchanting or Enchanted Tastes? Whatever, the one that does all the magic.
The one with the giant croissants?
The other side of that. Yeah, they do all the things.
So, now that we've ascertained why the doors are muffled,
Wait, who are you?
I'm Soria now.
Okay. I think you should ask him as Tristan.
I don't need to add that level of chaos. We're doing some investigations about the the infrastructure here. I'm curious how does it,
Investigations on the infrastructure? What are you talking about?
well, we're with a company of blades, and we heard some suspicious rumors about people who are not supposed to be there entering the sewers.
People who are not supposed to be there. Sewers.
Have you ever seen anyone who doesn't look like they're supposed to be there down in the sewers?
No. Why on earth would anyone want to go in the sewers?
Well,
It smells terrible down there.
It was loud.
And loud.
now
We wear nose plugs so we don't have to smell it.
with oregano in it, yes.
Right?
Great, now you gave a plausible reason why you can't spell things that are worse than death.
Bill. No, we gotta get oregano. Jeez, we gotta get some. I mean,
Do you ever have the mercenaries go down in there? We've previously done jobs down in the sewers and encountered various oozes and other monsters.
That happens. You get magical waste accidentally flushed down. Some, people not throwing away potions appropriately. All comes together, globifies. We mostly do a pretty good job of taking care of it, but it doesn't get everything. So sometimes we gotta hire what we call them cleaners.
Are there any parts of the sewers that you don't visit regularly for whatever reason?
Define regularly.
Months, years at a time?
Oh, years? No. Everything gets inspected at least twice a year. But, there's a lot of parts of the sewer that we don't see, say, for every 6 months or so. Because, we don't go down and look at every part of it every day. That's overkill. I don't need to do that.
Is the door opened with just a key?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And those are, I assume, handled by the sanitation department?
The sewer
Well,
keepers.
we're
The sewer keepers?
the Department of City Engineering. Yeah, we got.
Oh, can I see
keys.
it?
Jangles the keys, did you?
I bat at them.
I mean, doors are enchanted to keep noise down. They're also enchanted to keep them locked. We don't want people getting in there. And every year, some teenagers get the idea, pick locks and stuff like that, and they start trying to go down in the sewers. We don't want them getting hurt. Truth be told, we actually find 1 or 2 dead bodies a year down there.
Have you ever revived one of them to ask what they were doing down there?
Well, we always leave the bodies available for up to, 2 months if anyone wants to come and pay for a resurrection. Most of the time, we don't find any sort of identifying marks on them.
Oh, do you have a body in the bin right now?
Nah.
Can you let us know if you do get a body in the bin?
I mean, yeah, we have to. We post it publicly, so you can see it. If we find someone, we'll post it there every once in a while. Though we find someone and their family's been looking for them, and it's just tragic. But more often than not, I think they're, thieves trying to escape. Going through the sewers. It's a dangerous business going through the sewers.
Do you ever have interactions with the Thieves Guild?
Thieves
wink.
Guild.
Wink.
Bill, you ever heard
Wink.
about a Thieves Guild?
Wink.
Nope.
Insight check.
Never heard about a thieves guild.
Yeah, insight check.
Insight check. I got a 17.
I got a 26.
I got 12.
None of you have any reason to think that they're lying about not having a clue about a thieves guild.
It is always surprising how much people do not know about thieves guilds.
Well, it'd be a bad guild of thieves if everyone knew about them.
Have the disappearances that have been hitting the city affected any members of the sewer crew?
I thought you were going to say sewer tribe for a second.
No, none of us.
No, not one.
No, people get all sorts of funny ideas about the sewers, you know? They're... Apologies to viewers, our dogs are apparently having a barkathon upstairs. So, I don't know if the microphones will pick that up, but if you're hearing a whole bunch of barking, I'm sorry about that.
If you
Not
want
a
to
whole lot
see
I can
them,
do.
though, leave a comment somewhere.
Just anyway.
Just anywhere.
Just anywhere, it's
we
like,
might see it.
you know,
Preferably tied to one of our pieces of content.
start
Not required.
Yeah.
go find wherever the Google like street view trucks are, taking pictures,
And hold up a sign.
hold up some signs,
Yeah.
and then we'll see it.
Or,
Yeah, if you can make that go viral, that'd be great.
Yeah,
or like tweet out like NPR or something.
yeah.
That doesn't work anymore.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was the joke you were making,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yes, that would be good. Tweet it NPR.
If not, try PBS.
Right. So those were dogs and not one of us.
Bark.
Woof, woof.
Sounds like they calmed down.
Yes, where was I?
Thieves guild.
How much for one of the keys?
Let's not be indirect.
I'm not giving up one of these things.
Not for free.
That cost me my job.
How much do you get paid?
Probably more than you do.
I'm an adventurer.
Well, it depends on the kind of year you're having, I guess.
Maybe we should be
Go
working
ahead.
in the sewers.
Try to bribe me.
Oh.
10,000 gold.
Nah.
I slide 2 gold across the table.
Oh, wow. After the 10,000.
This is such by nines and like triples the value.
Triple.
Yeah, that's the nines. He worked with the voice.
Ooh. You worked with the voice, huh?
I use Mage Hand and slap Zori in the back of the head.
You worked with the voice?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was sort of a subordinate position.
I glared. Like that was.
Were you like one of his backup singers or something?
No, I was.
Guitarist.
Lutus.
Looter.
Why do you bring this up to people who like the voice?
It's
That must have been pretty fun. You know,
It
going
wasn't.
on tour, hanging out with the voice. I bet he's a riot.
He caused riots, yes.
Yeah, it must have been a crazy life. Jet setting and all sorts of fans everywhere, right?
What's
Right.
a jet?
It was before he was famous.
It's like a boat that goes fast.
It's a fast boat.
It was before the voice was super famous.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should give me that key because I touched the voice.
Suggestion.
Yeah, that is not going to happen.
I continued to slide 2 gold across.
Even further. So, no one, not a single person in your division has disappeared.
I mean, not that I heard about. Suppose it's possible someone disappeared, but
Well,
No?
let me ask you about your uniforms.
Well, I sniff you.
We're
So
great
how
adventurers.
often are you issued a brand new uniform?
well, typically when you need one. Some of our work, you know, doesn't wear them down very quick. Some of us, like Bill and I, well, we do stuff that wears them down more quickly. See these? We only got these 4 weeks ago.
Where do you get them from?
And what do they smell like?
What do they smell like? What do you mean? What do they smell like?
Well, I'm not asking them what it smells like. I am actively smelling it. Too close to them.
What are you doing?
I'm smelling their clothes.
Why?
They might smell like death.
The bad kind.
Yeah, the bad kind.
There's a good kind?
I mean, like cooked meat.
All right.
Bat carry-on.
We carry on.
Yeah. So where do you get these from? Have any been stolen?
We get it from the supplies. I mean, we get stuff handed to us because we work for the city, so they supply us with the uniform.
Have there been any reports of them being stolen?
Not that I know of. You'd have to talk to, quartermaster.
Who is that?
They just promoted someone new. I think his name is like Cornock, something like that.
Cornock, and where can we find Cornock?
Oh,
We're asking for real clear directions so that we can actually go there.
he works down at the town hall city center building. He's just in charge of getting the supplies into the supply rooms, making sure those get all stocked up for us. I mean, basically the rule is as long as we don't start taking them all the time, no one asks us questions about if we need a new uniform.
Are there defenses inside the sewers to keep like monsters or we talked about like oozes and other creatures?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, there's stuff like that. We got pretty standard ooze defense. You have iron grates.
We are familiar
we're
with
very
those.
familiar.
Every
How removable are those grates?
Well, typically not very removable. It makes it a little bit hard to navigate from time to time, but we divide up the sewers into different sectors and zones, and there's access points to each zone within a sector, and there's hard points that don't have any doors through them, but they are the grates to allow the water to keep flowing, and they're enchanted to basically burn anything that's passing through. It's really solid defense against any sort of oozes. Once in a while, one of them makes it through and gets up in the city. It's a big old problem, and then some of the town guards got to show up and take care of it.
What kind of tool do you need to remove said grates? And where can we acquire one of these said tools for non-nefarious purposes?
Well, need something real hefty, and also you need to disenchant everything. Why?
We have a history with grates and iron rods.
It is not a great history. No.
So, this city, pretty old, more than 10 years old, right?
More than 10 years old. Yeah, definitely more than 10 years old.
I can't imagine that all of the sewers haven't changed over time. Old buildings maybe got built on top of, things like that. Are there sections that are semi-connected that aren't part of the sewer system that you don't go and check in on? Are there old parts of the city? Are there disused sewers? Things like that.
I mean, I'm sure that there's, stuff that's there. We don't really cut through it or something. The city's been around here for thousands of years.
Thousands. Better at that.
That's way more than 10.
Has at least 3 times more than 10.
There's probably sections of previous, sewer systems that They're still there. Didn't get excavated because they're underneath a building or something like that.
Yeah.
Would have presented too much danger to try and change whatever's underneath it. So we just, built what we needed to. I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff underneath buildings. Yeah.
Do you have a map of the sewers?
Well, yeah.
Can we see it?
We don't typically just give that out to people.
What about atypically?
Well, you have to have a real good reason for it.
We're with
I
the
really
company
want
of-
to see it, and it'd be really cool if you show it to me as I cast suggestion on that.
On which one?
The one we're talking to.
Oh, okay. Bill, is it? We're talking.
You're
to?
talking mostly to Charisse.
Charisse. Okay. I thought it was Shanice. With an N. Is it Charisse? Okay.
I believe I said Charisse.
I wrote it down.
Well, what do you guys want to see it for?
We're with the company of Blades, and we needed it in case we were wondering in case we're hired to exterminate some monsters down in there.
It
We
happens
have a-
very often. It's really kind of surprising how many monsters just show up in the sewer that we have to kill.
We are specialists with subterranean creatures, as I hold up sevens.
You mean tens.
That was the most surprising thing I've seen all day.
You want to see my slime cube?
Do you get bullets often down there?
Nope.
Oh, well, these things can burrow really well.
Good to know. That's good to know.
Yes. So if this was the most surprising thing you have seen today, what has been the second most surprising thing you've seen today?
Well, probably Poopberg, the twice the size of you.
Okay.
Also, what did you do?
So that was interesting.
Smelled bad, yeah.
Oh, did it smell like death? Only the bad kind?
It, well, it made it through my nose plug, so it smelled pretty awful.
Do you get dire rats down there?
Oh, every once in a while, sure.
Do you get any druids living down there?
Druids living down there? Not that I'm aware of, but hey, the Agmar no doll can be kind of strange, and it wouldn't surprise me if they made a request.
Okay. Do we need anything else from these two?
I am really surprised that they have not encountered anything odd.
Yeah, have there been any unusual new hires or people who have joined the staff without really any announcement from your managers? Things like that. New faces on the team.
If there are, we haven't met them. But, there's a whole bunch of shifts. You got... We typically pull, 4 10-hour shifts in a week.
See? It is full of 4-day work weeks.
And,
And even have to use an insight check to get that.
then there's another group that they pull 3 12s. So they take care of the rest of the week. And on our side, we've got 2 shifts a day that do 10 hours. And then in between,
This is
This-
a very complicated schedule.
that's when we actually have flushing crews kind of rotating through the zones. And their work is pretty dangerous, but necessary to keep everything running. They basically create, little tidal waves down there. Force all sorts of stuff through, ensure that the water continues to move. So they're really highly specialized folks. We only, have them work about 6 hours a day total. and they take a lot of time to plan and execute what they do. So we kind of work around them. And there's, around 4 hours a day where we don't have anybody down in the sewers.
What 4 hours?
Well, it depends on what the shift requirements are. It changes all the time.
Where's that posted?
In our offices?
Offices. Poop heist.
A heist.
All right, well, thanks for your time. Enjoy your ales. There's a third one for some reason. So you can split that.
I take it and leave.
Never mind.
So before we leave, I
Wait,
go
where
to...
the hell's my fries?
Yeah, that's
They're
right.
waiting on the counter for you.
They're cold now.
I knock them on the ground and leave. I'm sad now.
They were piping hot.
Wait, you said they were there for a while. Or you said it and I just believed you.
That was...
You three all have this habit, but especially those two, of she'll say something.
Well, if she just said something and then if she believed it, there'd be something very wrong with
I
that.
say it with authority.
Sometimes she does that, but all three of you will listen to the other two, and they'll say something, and then y'all get mad at me because you just cannon it
I'll
that.
pick up the fries and eat them on our way out.
I go to Fodari Pilm. So you who are Fodari Pilm.
You can just
Yes.
call me Fodari.
You
It
who
doesn't
are
work that
Fodari.
way.
You who are Fodari.
See, he works that way.
I know that you have said that Tamoy was an engineer who did fervent maintenance for you. I am a proficient in fervent tech, and may I go down and look at your fervent chiller?
Yeah, don't see what the harm could be. Go ahead.
Okay. So I go down and I look at it, and I'm there for two reasons.
Well, he's done that. You know, he blew up a city once.
Insight check.
So, one is I'm going to check it out for just routine maintenance to make sure that it's operating as efficiently and as well as it can. Okay, because I don't know how long it's been since Tomoy did a tune-up. And the other is I want to inspect it to see if there's anything unusual about it, something that would pique my interest, like it's leaking radiation, or the fervent crystal is way too big for it, or it looks like it might be powering something other than the refrigeration unit. So those are the two things that also Ralph does down there.
So the fervent crystal itself seems perfectly fine. All the generating capabilities seem pretty normal and intact. There's clearly been a lot of patchwork on it over the years. So there's some rough spots. They're totally functional, but not necessarily smooth.
Yeah.
The thing that you're sort of impressed with is that it's powering a heat pump. And you've never encountered something like that. And you can see how it's taken heat out of the room and exchanging that with cooler areas and taking that cold water back in, blows a fan over it and chills it down. So it's, it's something you have not seen before.
So I've learned something new. Is there anything I can do to improve the functioning of it or its longevity?
Not that you can tell on this quick of an inspection. Since you're just back here kind of like, huh, interesting. It's kind of cool. But you can tell this is not necessarily novel for the world, but it is a novel thing for you to see.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to be able to make an improvement if that were possible. But I don't see anything suspicious either.
Anything
Okay.
else y'all want from him here?
No.
Okay.
So I think we should visit the quartermaster and make some inquiries about uniforms.
Well, what
Also, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's around 6 o'clock now.
Well, I'm thinking I might think, do you want us maybe stake out one of the exits for a little bit?
We
We
could
have
do
rats
that.
for that.
Yeah.
I could be a rat.
Fodari Pilm says she is not available until tomorrow for a major
True.
stakeout. But why don't we check out the quartermaster?
Okay.
They probably have a night shift there.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll go to the offices.
In the city center building. We knock on the door of Cornock.
Do we
Looks
find
like
it?
the offices are mostly closed up for the day.
Oh,
Well, better start lockpicking.
Really? You want to do that?
Oh, you told me to.
You
I
said-
trust you.
you said
Nance.
it was mostly closed up. Are there places that aren't closed up?
Yeah, there's some offices that are still
I mean, we
open.
can steal some uniforms, even though you can just turn into it.
You looked on the. We've established that there's a guide that you can look at, and you found where his offices would be. It's in the civil engineering department, and you went there, and offices are closed up for the evening, but there are offices that are still open.
Am I picking this lock?
Sure, why not?
What's the worst that could happen, right?
We commit a crime and get thrown in jail.
That would be bad.
Yeah, but we don't understand. We don't know the laws of this place, so.
Oh,
So
yeah,
are-
that's true. We haven't asked
Are
anyone
there
all the laws.
are there open hours posted on the door at all? Do we know?
Are
or
there
is
signs
this-
that say don't pick locks for houses you don't own or businesses?
Wait, there's
Open hours, then I don't even have to pick the lock. We just wait it out.
Yeah, and the hours just say 8 to 5.
So what if somebody's
But
working?
there's no sign that says don't pick the lock.
I mean, there's no sign that says don't pick the lock. No.
So I'll just ask this: if the uniform place is only open from 8 until 5, how do people who are like working the third shift that falls between those hours get their uniforms and things?
They probably have a key.
Well, if you think back to what I told you, they got supply rooms around the city, and they make sure those supply rooms are stocked, so that they have supplies when their shift comes around.
So we want to break into this place, right?
No,
And steal some of it.
no.
No, we need to talk to Cornock to find out whether he knows anything about uniforms, or if
It-
they maybe
it
they
might-
have
it
if
might
they have
be.
enchanted uniforms that are always clean all the time.
It might be just a red herring, though, too. We might need to focus more on
Look,
finding one
we
of
can
these
talk
people.
about this over dinner. I heard about this great steakhouse place.
Oh, the Arturo
we'll go to
experience.
the-
Not
steakhouse.
we go to the steakhouse. We look for the steakhouse with the logo that the rat gave me.
We're going to the rat recommended restaurant.
Which is a great tourist place.
Sure. It,
While
it-
we discuss our plan.
Yes.
it's a steakhouse. It's called how let's go with
Stake your claim.
Nope, it's a surf and turf. It's called Stake Your Clam.
Okay. Yikes.
That's what it is now. That's
Does
what
every
it is.
teenager that walk by it just like snicker?
No,
Insight check on the DM.
there's not a lot of teenagers that are walking by, and the ones that do seem to mostly just want to like get out of this part of town. It's in a touristy section.
There's clams here.
I guess I could find something to eat.
Okay, let's.
It does not look very good, though.
We have
The rat said it was great. I say very loudly around the tourists.
Right, the rats said it was great, and they take it as a compliment.
I'm not saying
So-
that to the cooks.
No, you're just yelling it on the street.
We
And so
get
the
some-
next day, the sign
get
says,
some-
steak and clam, state your clam. The rats say
Rat
this place
approved.
is great.
So, while we're eating,
Is this any good here at all, or is this? Are we having?
rats
Are we
said it's
having a
good.
terrible experience?
It's fine.
So, if anyone has ever gone to another city and maybe on business, maybe visiting family, maybe just for leisure, and you were recommended or found on, line a good steakhouse
Recommended by rats.
that it's like, oh yeah, everyone likes this place. So you go to that steakhouse and you get seated, and the service is very nice.
There's
They have
peanuts everywhere.
a wine menu that's like this thick, several inches, and it's all very leather bound, and it's kind of dark in there, and it's very fancy looking. And you order your food, and it comes to your table, and you eat it, and it's fine because it's a steakhouse, and it's probably pretty good, but it's steak. It's a steakhouse. And in this case, it is a steak and clam house. And the
That's
clams,
really good because otherwise Ardamore would go hungry.
and the clams are,
Fine.
they're fine. Mm-hmm. Nothing in here is particularly good, nor particularly bad.
What about the tiramisu?
It is perfectly
Fine.
acceptable.
So, I think we really need to focus on finding one of these suspicious characters.
I just ate your clam. Yeah,
So,
your clam.
I didn't order clams.
Okay, well, none of us ordered clam. We got steak. It's a steakhouse.
You ordered clams
And
for
clams.
yourself.
It's steak and clams. I ate all the clams.
I also ate all the bread before my meal came.
So, I think we need to focus on locating these suspicious people. That's our best lead, I think. More than tracking down uniforms. Uniforms can be faked, and if it sounds like they take them so often, a couple missing wouldn't even be noticed.
Yes. Several things are unusual, though. One is that Fodari Pilm did not notice an unusual odor,
She wasn't that close.
but might have been downwind at some point.
Did we ask about their sense of smell?
No.
You're supposed to.
The
Stop what
other-
we're doing. Go back.
And then the sewer workers have never noticed anything unusual.
Well,
Maybe they're in on it.
they might be in on it, or these people, these suspicious characters, know their schedules and just work around them.
It is, right?
It is posted.
There are 4-hour gaps. But it would be good to see the schedule then so that we would know what times and locations.
And that would probably be done
It
in
would
a
be more
local
suspicious.
area, not in the city hall. At one of their local little posts.
So if we could find the schedule for the entrance near Fodari Pilm's Crass Carp.
Grass crab.
Crass Carp. Yes, that is easy to say. Perhaps we could find the time when they would be most likely to be sneaking in.
Yes. Now, I'm of the mind I'm going to be planning to do a rat-based stakeout where I am a rat so I can smell for this death smell.
So you would not be going as Tomoy.
Not in this case.
Okay.
Maybe if somebody turned into a rat.
But
What time is it?
It's like 7:30ish.
It must have taken a long time to get a table.
Yes, you're in a touristy part of town. The turnover isn't super high. You're at a steakhouse.
How
The
do
wine
they
menu
get,
is this thick. It takes a while.
How
to
do
that.
they get the cheese inside the steak?
Who are you asking?
The waiter.
What is their waiter's name?
I asked a question.
Raphael.
Raphael. How
Yeah.
do they get the cheese block inside the steak? There's no suture lines. Cut lines.
Oh, the cows are bred that way.
Oh!
They culture the cheese inside the cow.
Slide the Play-Doh.
This is a world of magic.
Yeah.
That deserves an insight check.
Yeah.
I can't read it in the slide.
14.
16.
You don't have any reason to think that Raphael is lying.
All right.
I don't have any reason to believe that he's telling the truth.
9s pay for our meal.
What?
You chose the place.
The rat chose the place.
You listened to the rat.
Look, I listened to the rats, and they told me to come to this restaurant.
I know
they come here all the time.
I know the rats said that this place is where they dine out all the time and eat all the scraps that are thrown away and live under the floorboards. But you chose the place, so you pay.
Are we causing a scene yet?
No one's really paying attention to you.
They're all tourists.
Holland has made great use of the salad bar.
The clam salad bar.
Oh, just like any steakhouse, there is a salad bar, like a really good salad bar. And Holland is just going to town with that.
How good are their sneeze guards at this place? Do they have magic sneeze guards?
You can't even touch the salad. Someone makes it for you.
Wow.
Are they
Does that person
sneezing?
have a sneeze guard?
Yeah.
9s, just pay.
How much is the bill?
2 gold and 2 silver.
It's an expensive place.
Yeah, it's marked up for
good.
rubes.
So,
Thank you for buying this fine but not terrific dinner.
Yeah, I leave.
That is. That. Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Let's
I don't leave a tip though. Waiter was rude.
we go down to one of the post.
It's okay. They added the tip on there.
Oh, that was.
For large groups, meaning
And
a
in
person.
fact, there is no tip because this place pays their staff
Properly.
a good wage.
Yeah, we're not in the Republic.
wow.
This isn't the tangy crab.
So,
Why don't we head to the...
I know it's late-ish. It's like 7:30. We'll head to the, like the local post that these maintenance workers
Okay.
work at.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna figure out when their next big gap in schedule is.
Right, we check out
Yeah.
how you're going to do that.
I'll just turn into a spider, look at
do
it.
that, not like
and then-
Tomoy or anything.
We'll make it easy.
Okay.
So the like rooms, their employee like service rooms, they're behind the service doors.
Oh, they're inside the
Yeah,
stores.
yeah,
Oh,
they're-
okay. I
They're not just
misunderstood.
like
I thought they had little like buildings.
yeah, they do.
They're just inside the sewer.
They're just part of the like service
Okay.
complexes.
Well, that was a very good idea that
Yeah.
we cannot do.
All right.
Well, I didn't say you couldn't do it. I'm just saying that they are in there, so
Well, we'll just... Why don't we just spend a little time watching the door to the sewer? Check it out, see if we see anything suspicious before we go back to the company house.
We do that.
I'm also wondering, should we get jobs as sewer workers?
No.
No, that sounds like a
We're not going to do
process.
honest work.
Then we could get paid for doing this.
We're getting paid
Okay,
to do
we're
this
gonna
now.
we're gonna stop what we're doing. We're gonna go to plumber school. We're gonna get certified. We're gonna go do the interview process to get a civil job.
We could do that tonight.
Well,
I cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
next
and
week's episode will be sponsored by Monster.com.
I cast Pass Without a
Job
Trace on
search
us.
engine.
Turn into a rat.
And
Will observe secretly the entrance to the sewer for a little while before bed.
Yeah.
did you have to turn to a rat?
I want keen smell
Okay.
So we hang
to
out
catch
till,
the scent of...
I don't know, 10:45.
You don't see anything for a while. Eventually, someone comes by. Yeah, a few people actually open the door, go in. They're all just chatting amongst themselves.
But what do they smell like?
Yeah, I do sniff anyone who goes in.
You smell, colognes and perfumes. Scent
People
of
get
washed
fancy
clothes.
working in the sewer.
You won't believe what people flush down the toilet.
I was very tempted to run in there as well, but I'm not going to.
Why? Just because of some warning the DM did earlier?
Uh-huh. Alright, so after a few hours, nothing.
You don't see anything here.
Anything matching that depiction.
So the people who went in, their clothes weren't all shiny new or anything like that.
No. I mean, they all seemed pretty at ease with it and calm. Just chatting as they entered.
What were they
Looked like
talking
they were
about?
probably the evening shift. What were they talking about, you asked?
Local sports ball team.
Yeah. Local sporty sports.
Ooh, what sport? What's the local sports team?
Dragon polo.
Yeah, Dragon Polo.
What's the team's name?
Well, there's several teams.
Yeah.
Who's like the favorite right now?
The favorite?
Yeah, who's seed 1?
Let's call them.
The Upper Mountain Drakes.
Let's call them the Red Flyers.
I like it. Simple. Red.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
They
Red-
fly.
red
they're
dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red. Oddly enough, their uniforms are green.
Yeah.
To set themselves apart
From the Red Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the colors first.
Is there a betting parlor that Nines could go to and lose all of his money?
Sports.
Yeah.
Alright.
If you wanted to find some sort of casino, sure.
I mean, if you want to find the Thieves Guild, I bet that's a good place to start.
Okay, as we walk
The
back
betting parlor,
to
yeah.
the company house, I'll just be going, Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? Asking people, you know the Thieves Guild?
What?
You just never know.
You never know.
It worked the last few times we did something like that.
Yeah, just as we're walking back, just in case.
Okay. Make a. You're trying to be friendly, right?
Yeah,
Make a persuasion check.
I'm guessing this is over an extended period, so I can't really guidance myself.
I mean, do you pause for a second and go guidance? Like
Anytime
before-
I go up to a
Guidance,
person,
guidance.
Yeah.
and yeah, you can add guidance to it.
No one would notice that.
8.
At least nobody hit you. Maybe.
You don't find anyone who responds to your technique?
No
What
one.
if I make myself look like Coromon?
Do you want to try it with that? Do you want to?
Once.
Which is just one person.
I'll try once with Coromon.
Just one single person.
Yep. Thieves Guild? Do you know the Thieves Guild?
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Much better, 14.
14. Okay. No.
Try as trust him.
Yeah, he seems like a Thieves Guild type.
People are just weirded out by you.
By just trusting in general, or
You might be weirded out, but do you know the Thieves Guild?
No one is responding to this approach.
Well,
This was just on the way back, so.
we'll ask different people on the way.
on the way
when
out.
we go out.
Yeah.
I'm just walking down the street. Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? Hey, you in the Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? One time, hey, you in the Thieves Guild? Yeah, and then Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? To change it up a little bit. Hey, are you part of the Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild, anybody? Want to steal some stuff?
I didn't say that.
Should we ask if
'Cause you
anybody
part of the
wants
Thieves Guild?
anybody wants to form a Thieves Guild?
Yeah, we can make a rival Thieves Guild. That would get their attention.
It would.
Anyway, we're back at the company house, and
Sure.
I'm gonna practice my changeling language.
Okay.
We're bad.
Let me practice fervent expertise. Oh, thank
So,
goodness.
while you're practicing these
I
things,
thought that was a double zero. I would have gotten a 1. 91.
91. And you're working on your fervent expertise, correct? While you are doing these things, Holwyn asks, so what's our... Like, what do we do next? What's our next thing? And have I figured out why we're doing this?
Aren't you interested?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But usually, don't adventurers, like, want to make money doing stuff?
Oh, eventually
Spend it
someone
on
will
what?
hire us.
We're not the best adventurers.
Oh. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
It seems to be the most interesting thing that's happening in this city is that people are disappearing.
So no one gave us a job yet.
Yeah,
Well, and we want to help, right?
yeah. We are waiting here in town to meet the historian about the circlet.
Wait, to meet or beat? It sounded like you said beat.
Meet.
Meet. Oh,
Me,
meet and
then be.
I thought you said beat the historian for a second. I'm like, wait,
Depends on what he says.
Why would we beat the historian? Then the
I don't know.
historian wouldn't tell us anything or give
That's-
us a lot of money for this.
well, that's
the
why I
diadem.
wanted to clarify, because
Well,
I
that
thought you
would
said
be
beat.
dumb. It would be really dumb to beat on the historian.
Well, yes,
I wrote-
but it's you guys. Sometimes I need to check in.
I rolled a 77 by then.
Okay. So what's our plan here? Like, what are we
Well,
we doing?
Well, we're waiting for the rat to see the thing.
And we're gonna do a stakeout with
Yeah,
Fodari.
once we learn what the schedule is.
Once you learn what the schedule is of the workers?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are gaps. Yeah.
So you guys really think that, like, all this is going on when they're not working?
I mean, it's since they haven't seen anyone, it seems likely that they're at least using those gaps to their advantage. These suspicious people.
That's when they would enter in. But they are probably doing what they are doing in parts of the sewers that have been abandoned and aren't being regularly visited.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Do you guys really think it's the murder cult you were telling me about?
oh, I don't know.
It could be that. It could also be, as Ulseth put forward, the silver
The silver liquid people.
people we've been fighting.
I mean, they could also be the same group.
In which, true. But, and if it's the silver people, we have a very vested interest in finding out because they are actively trying to kill us.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of important.
And they might also be planning to, like, I don't know, erupt the volcano or something, you know, and destroy this whole place because they work for the Ulfsteingrafels. If they're the silver people.
But we are in town for a while anyway. We need to find out about the diadem. I need to maybe make contact with somebody from the House of Dumar. We are waiting to get a job, maybe.
How's your article coming along?
It's okay. I'm not. It doesn't feel like it has a conclusion yet.
Oh, do you want all the leftover papers from Brucellian? I've read through them.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
You know anything about the trash reporters that kept trying to report on this stuff? And kept getting in the way?
No, but there's a lot of people who, well, they just go make a giant mess.
Like us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our people.
Our people, the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, but I go to the steward. You who are the steward this evening,
You should just go downstairs.
Yes.
I had forgotten to ask when I came in. Has there been any jobs for us?
Or mail.
Midnight brunch or messages or mail? Missives from the changelings who are living in the royal palace.
You're kind of tired, old stuff. How much steak did you eat?
I could not eat very much of the steak. I just ate the bread and the salad bar. Anyway, is there anything like that for us?
Oh, the coffee kicked in.
There doesn't seem to be any immediate messages.
Nothing immediate?
No,
Does that mean there's a slow message coming?
possibly.
How slow is the message?
I don't know. There may be a job opening for you all tomorrow, however.
Oh, when would we know?
I'm awaiting on final details of the contract. They are debating between you and several other groups.
Oh,
Which rooms?
I like how
Several
you're
other
going to
groups.
threaten them. The pacifist is going to go in and be like, if you don't let me have this job or I murder people.
I'm not a pacifist. I'm just not a murderer.
There seems to be a contract from. Well, it's an odd arrangement, I must admit.
we're very good at odd
But
arrangements.
it looks like a rival-ish mercenary company is looking to subcontract with us.
I did not realize there was a rival mercenary company.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we know that.
We know multiple mercenary companies. There's like the Arcane Masters that Dole's part of.
Well, that is way beyond our
Like,
capability.
yeah, they could be subcontracting to us.
Oh, it could be somebody like that.
Yeah.
It could be like Arcane Masters wanting somebody to go in the sewers for them.
Yes.
or otherwise doing something.
Yeah.
You guys aren't here, are you? Did you
Hey,
follow
Dole?
me back down?
You're just calling.
I didn't go out.
Oh, okay.
Hey, doll.
Very dreary-sounding Dole answers. Hello, sorry.
Hi, what you up to?
I was sleeping.
Were you dreaming?
I don't believe so, no. I
Oh.
don't recall dreaming.
Dream about like a big bird.
I'll try to do that.
All right. Do you know if the Arcane Masters are subcontracting the Company of Blades here in Drogmara?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything else that you needed right now?
Just, I don't know, you want to chat?
Perhaps tomorrow. I'm actually quite tired.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay. It's nice to hear from you.
All right. Bye.
Good night, Soraya.
Oh, good night. Wait. I don't know.
So, what is up with Dole?
He's actually sleeping.
He does that?
Sometimes, apparently.
Weird.
A lot of things seem to be waiting for tomorrow.
I guess we'll wait for tomorrow.
By the way, I rolled a 69.
Nice.
And what are you practicing?
Yeah, Ocarina?
Yeah, but we'll do Ocarina.
Okay. Anything else that y'all wish to do tonight?
I snore very loudly and to try to get as close to Olsef's room as I possibly can while I do so.
Do you like tape yourself up against the wall or something? Or just go outside his door?
Whatever.
You should set up your screamy stick right at your door so anytime anyone walks by in the hall,
It just goes off.
I do not set up my screaming stick to get kicked out of this facility. I just go to bed.
Okay.
Well then.
We all go to bed. I decide that for everyone.
Except Sevens, who spends all night digging in this little tray.
All right. That happens. You go to bed.
There's an explosion.
You wake up the next morning.
Oh, good. Do we find ourselves?
Maybe. You're still in the company house.
What's in the breakfast tube?
Before you make it down to the breakfast tube,
Oh no, is the elevator broken?
no. but there is a rat sitting at the foot of your bed.
I look at the rat.
The rat looks at you. Squeak, 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 squeak. It waits.
And now I cast Speak with Phantom.
Okay.
I gesture it to start talking.
You can speak with that.
Yeah, I can. It's the morning.
You wanted us to come find you, right?
Yes, when you find the guy.
How? When we find him?
Yes.
Well,
Or
we didn't-
saw him.
Yeah.
You did see him?
No, we smell the thing that's like worse than death.
Well, where is it?
Well, it went by really quick.
Hey, how quick?
Very quick. We didn't even see what it was.
Well, I think the agreement was if you see it.
Well, we did see it. Now we're telling you.
Well, where'd it go? What direction?
Down the sewers. It looked like it was heading west.
West from like where? Where I am right now?
West from where we saw it.
Which is where the first grade was?
Well, not too far from there.
Did you put a Did you put a tabaxi on the grate where you saw it?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll go see it in the morning.
We were so eager to tell you that we came here.
Wait, how many of you came here?
A bunch of little rat heads pop up from all over the place. Hi, hello.
I take it it's not very cool. How big is that one?
It's a little bigger than the others.
A little bigger?
Yeah.
Get me out of bed. We'll start moving. I spread my arms.
What do you want us to do?
Oh, trust me.
We don't do that.
Why not? I saw it in a movie once.
What movie?
I don't remember the. You're not there.
I'm asking us, Nicole.
I don't want to know what movie you saw that
I
in.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't really want to know what movie you saw that in either.
The Rat
Sounds
Seamstress. It's this animated movie about this rat that really wants to be a seamstress, and everyone said, no, you can't do that, you're a rat. But she proved them wrong anyway. Her best friend is a talking cat. A regular cat, not a tabaxi. There's this wolf that just like...
I'm surprised Nines hasn't come down for breakfast yet.
Yeah, I'm down at the breakfast
Yeah, I was
buffet as
thinking
well.
that, he'd be down here kind of first. Well, although he does like to sleep, so maybe this is, kind of normal. But then again, breakfast tubes.
He missed the toothbrush. They're empty now.
They're not empty, you know that. They put 3 more in today.
I put up a sign that says empty.
Oh, we're playing a prank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too bad I won't know it because I'm too busy explaining to the rats about this movie I just made.
Whatever a movie is.
They
I
have
go
bad
down.
movies.
So you who are our steward of the morning,
Yes.
yes, we were told yesterday that there may be a job for us. I am wondering if that has come through.
Not quite yet.
We were also told that there were no immediate messages, but perhaps there would be a slow one. And I'm wondering if that has come through.
Not quite yet.
Ah. Okay. How long maybe when you say not quite yet? That
Have you finished breakfast, Olseth?
I had breakfast.
Have you had second breakfast?
No, I'm trying to find out if we have work.
The answer's clearly no. Can you hear him?
Said not yet. I'm trying to find out.
That's a no.
I'm trying to find out how long it'll be before yet is over.
They might not know.
Don't make me pull this campaign over and turn it around.
So anyway, the wolf is actually upset at the rat because he just hates clothes because clothes killed his grandma.
Like Red Riding Hood grandma wearing the grandma's clothes.
Yeah, like he suffocated when, like, just one of the ropes got.
So I was hoping to have a nice dramatic ending when the rat showed up and was like, "We smelled the thing that was worse than death."
You should have
And you were
ended
like-
there, not let me just ramble on about a movie I just made up.
I got to check in on Nines.
Clearly,
We check in on Nines.
derailed.
And we say,
let's go.
Nines.
Let's go check on Nines. We open the door and it's just rats everywhere.
I heard you.
The crowd has been growing as they're captivated by this tale.
Nines.
What has happened with the
Oh,
rats?
they smell death. Anyway, have you seen this movie I'm talking about?
No, but what have the rats told you?
Oh, that they saw it go west.
From where?
One of the crates we saw earlier.
Ah,
It'll have a tabaxi on it.
and it happened last night?
Yeah. Well, actually, it happened pretty. They said they wanted to find me, so I assume it happened recently.
Can you find out when that
I
happened?
don't have watches.
Well, they could.
Wait, is there a rat that has a watch on?
Yeah, but not because they like telling time. They just thought it looked stylish.
Ask them to show us.
All right, rats, lead the way. And we start following the rats out of the building, like through the company house.
You do that. And that's where we're going to pick up next week. Hoping to end on a slightly more dramatic note.
Our
Why
heroes.
did you go to Nines for that?
Because he was the one that talked to the rats. Oh, God. So the episode ends with a parade of rats out of the company house.
Come just flying out like it's that scene in
You're just
In
like
that movie you
that
saw.
movie
That you
with the
saw.
blood elevator, except
just-
instead of blood, it's rats.
You're just standing on top of like this moving wave of rats. You know how people stand on the hoverboards? And,
yeah, these are hover rats.
Yeah, and they're just moving through, carrying you down the stairs.
Yeah, so we tell the steward,
Yeah.
like, let us know if we get any messages as we just go right out the door
Yep.
into the street into the tourist area.
There you go. And
I like this adventure. We're off on the right foot.
and scene. We'll see you all next week. This is the weirdest ending I've done in a while. Sometimes you don't know how to end it, and so, well, you just keep repeating the refrain and letting it slowly get quieter.
Well, rats.
Rats off to our audience.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.